Going on, Tickle? Thanks for the 32 months. Welcome back. Shadow King should probably be in a lot more decks, but he isn't. I don't know if that's even strictly true. So one of the things about Shadow King is that he's a symmetrical card, right? So he's not just an effect that you can put in absolutely every single deck, because he has a real cost to include because he impacts you as well as your opponent. So when a tech card is like a good card, but it's impacting both players, it's not just like, oh, you can free roll this. Okay, so I'm gonna do this with Black Knight explicitly after the Sera, or after the Sif, because we're discarding Sera, and then next turn, if we have a big thing on the right side of our hand, I could Ghost Rider back of the Sera, and blade the big thing to have a cheap blade, is the plan here. Scar or Infinite, please. I think it's just this now. If I do this, and they Modoc here, they go plus 17 here. And the Modoc, they go plus 21, so they'd be at 18. So this beats Modoc left, but it loses to Modoc right, because we lose the breaker. This is a coin flip to beat Modoc. To beat Modoc here. Yeah, let's flip it. Oh, they have Blade plus Modoc? Combination of cards.
Victory.
Yeah, Dakin's a good card to assume is in their output range. For sure. The Swanch. Honestly, Valentina makes Squanch is kind of absurd, yeah? You just get to play a 3/7 on curve. There is no replacement for US Agent in this deck. He is a unique and powerful effect. I think it's this. Putting one on the right, which even if we assume, let's assume they Modoc here. They Modoc here. Modoc's worth 4. They discard 3, and they get another 6. So they get 12. They get 16 here. I lose to Modoc by 1. Yeah, because they got the Valentina for free off the Oscorp tower. Modoc 16, and I'm only adding 15. I counted the US Agent. The Modoc is 4, 6, and 6. Well, then Dracula discards as well. Yeah, I'll definitely leave here.
Escaped.
Maybe they can't fit Modoc into their Super deck. No, I don't think that's true for a second. They have Proxima on their deck too. 110% our Modoc deck. One of these is Apocalypse. One of these is guaranteed Apocalypse. We've seen it. I'm assuming the next one is Modoc until proven otherwise. I'm assuming these are Modoc Apocalypse here. Oh yeah, that would be there's no deck in. That's an interesting call out. The storm. Does this beat Dracula Metal? It does a lot of the time, yeah. We need to draw Lucas. Oh, it's not Modoc, it's Hellcow. Okay. And they just lost Surfer. God, they'd be so torched if we drew Luke Cage. It's kind of unreal. We'd be tied to the center. They need to move Meek to play around Luke Cage, right? Wow, they just didn't play around Luke at all. That's wild.
Apocalypse.
I think we're good, yeah. Let's bring it back an 11 stat. Yeah, playing that game like you're not tied in the center is a bold call. They're lost to the sauce. They are cooking. It's a fun idea for sure. I don't know about some of the details of what they're doing, but the core idea is neat.
Oh, snap. Victory.
Yeah, Valentina does a lot in the deck that we're playing. Grab hits from a few different angles for us. Krakoa is a nice location. Peak of the Devil. And she will appear. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This was gonna be pretty good even without the Luke, but with the Lucas. Holy Vigi gamers. For my next trick. The teensiest, tiniest bit above, right? I'm gonna put this here so that way we can scar the center and our opponent. Scar the center and our opponent.
All systems go.
Victory.
Is a 227 good? Asking the hard-hitting questions. Maybe slightly above rate. A little the teensiest, tiniest bit above rate. Dies to Shang must be unplayable. That's true, you know. I think in this deck we're just supposed to take the... I think we're just supposed to take the Scar on one. I'm a Shadow King deck, so like I could see staying on Shuri's Lab, but there's so many decks where this is just so good for them. I think I bounced when they snapped me on one into it. This is Justina Dura's Snowguard is my avatar. Shuri's Lab is one of those, there's some decks that it like really supercharges. I don't think there's a reason to stay. but they snap it aggressively if we don't have good counterplay. Yeah, Kitty, Pride, and Destroy both, like, really love that location. What do you think about Makari? I'm expecting Makari to be probably the worst card to release in the last few months. We'll see how she plays out. Maybe she surprises us, but I have kind of low expectations for her. They could just be someone who's snapping on. Maybe they're a Deadpool deck. Maybe they are Destroy and they have Deadpool on one, but they could just be somebody who's snapping on one. Someone snap them back. We got a bunch of gold tickets. No Deadpool on one. Probably just someone snapping Conquest aggressively.
Live from the Daily Bugle.
The Valentina Luke Cage curve chat is just so good. That's true. Releases have been good in Makari's defense. I agree with that. We're going to play around Galactus here by playing Helicarrier on the left.
There's no strings on me.
You think they're a Killmonger deck? Alright. Oh, I should Shadow King left. Yeah, good call. I should probably US Agent left too, huh? This puts another... I'm putting 11 here in the middle, and I'm putting 6 over here on the right. I don't know if we win. They might have death and stuff, and then we die, but feels like we're probably in a good spot. Plus 11 in 2 spots.
There's no strings on me.
Cute. We would have lost to death left if they had it, I suppose. US Agent doesn't make her smaller. Explain whether or not U.S. Agent and Mockingbird Sasquatch have the same. Can you explain whether or not U.S. Agent and Mockingbird Sasquatch interact the same way with U.S. Agent / Death? I don't understand your question, Burgle. U.S. Agent doesn't interact with 8 drops. Whereas Mockingbird is a 5 and Sasquatch is a 6. U.S. Agent cares about the cost of the card when you put it into your deck. Stays like this always make me chuckle a bit extra, because, like, I thought the opponent was snapping because they just wanted to play aggressively and, like, be best of 1 for 8 cubes, but the fact that they're grinding this out thinks they actually meant that they thought that death in that last game, or that null, was winning the game. Like, they stayed in because they thought that was a game-winning play. Which is just like, LOL. Hopefully they don't Killmonger this turn. Sweet. Okay. Oh, shit. Losing the priority to wave means I coin flip this now. Nailed it. Easy game. 1 in 3. Hit those all day, Vidya gamers. 1 in 3. Couldn't be me. Alright, and well, Ebony Blade here so we don't get Galactus. And then we'll... Oh, well, that's insane. Holy shit. And then Sera here stops Galactus, and then next turn I get to go Luke Cage, Scar, Ghost Rider. What a freaking turn. Yeah, bud, get out of here. This deck's gas.
Victory.
The opponent's deck, if you haven't seen it, is a content creator brew that's just like trying to ramp into playing a bunch of big silly things. It's definitely not good, but it has stats that are better than you would expect them to be when you look at the deck list. Because when you look at this deck list, it's just like a real awkward looking pile of cards that's like relatively close to 50% on the public trackers. So if you like the idea of it, it's fine and you'll definitely win plenty of games, but it's certainly not a top tier competitive deck. If you're missing US Agent in this deck, the best substitution is probably Maximus. Alright, gamers. Looks like it's time for an ad break. I'm gonna run to the restroom while that goes. We'll see you in 120 seconds. We're gonna play some more of this Sera Black Knight deck when we get back, because it's been kind of sweet. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Neo Sin, thank you for the baker's dozen. Welcome back. Sailor Gaming, thanks for re-upping for the second month. See if we can wrap an infinite ticket with this one. You can tell the metagame's kind of in a good spot because chat can't seem to agree on which tech cards are popular, which means people are playing a lot of different stuff. I think the old Sera Black Knight deck from January with Shang and Miss Marvel was probably not Munchlax. That deck was super 4-drop heavy and leaned on the existence of old Zabu a lot. I'm unfortunately going to get so much work done with you going on vacation this week. Wow. I apologize to your productivity in advance. And if I play Typhoid, I don't draw Luke. It's so bad for us. I can just do this, yeah? Is this snappable? Feels snappable, video gamers.
Snap.
What if I actually wait on the Shadow King? Is that crazy? Call me baby. What if I do this? And then my last turn is just like Ebony Blade plus Shadow King. Oh, Mary left to keep priority. Yeah, that's true. She's only worth 6 points here, but I think that's good. Yeah, I think I like this. Yeah, I need to discard the Infinite because I have Black Knight. Where would this put me? This is plus 19, so it'd be 22 in the middle. This is plus 1, plus 4, minus 4. And obviously we're going to wipe away any bonuses they get here. So they'll be at 8, 10 over here. And I'll be at 11, 12. Right? No, they're also at 12 here, yeah? Ghost Rider is more points. Ghost Rider is more points, isn't he? He's 2 more. If I'm playing here. This is 8, 12, and this is 11, 12. So I'd be tied here. And then I'm putting 19, 21 in the middle. We gotta win that breaker every time, yeah? Alternatively, I could do this. Nah, that doesn't work. I want to do this to play for a breaker. I think this is good. Wow! Could you imagine if they would have hit... If they would have hit my freaking... What's it called? Okay, we're super good here, yeah? By a lot. Not by a lot, but by enough. If they would have hit my US agent, we would have gotten +4 on the left.
Victory.
Yeah, cool. This deck has so many neat lines in it. It's a very unique combination of stuff. Some older builds of Surfer run Cosmo. I don't think I play around Cosmo until I've seen it in general in the Surfer matchup. I don't think it's remotely common enough. If you hadn't seen this deck, this was one of the decks listed as a high potential deck in my best decks roundup over the weekend. If you're looking to stay one step ahead of the metagame, that is one of the videos you should make sure you're watching every single week. I think getting loops down is more important than Lady Siffing a Scar here. Unfortunately, for the people at home, I'm not sure that Valentina has a reasonable replacement in this deck. She's doing something kind of unique, especially in tandem with Luke Cage getting rid of her downside. Why wouldn't you Red Guardian my Black Knight? I'm so confused. Oh, come on! Come on! Are you kidding me? Big Bro's out to get me. Alright, we'll go next.
Escape.
Luki.
Opponent snap. Oh, snap.
Let's play a game. Well, that's terrifying against their brood deck. Hello. Oh, king, my king. I think I just take the guaranteed 17 here. Because this could get Red Guardian as a fear. Oh, it's not a guarantee because we drew Ghost Rider. On a pass.
Hello! Can you understand me?
What if I just play in the center so we can set up a Shadow King without priority on the last turn? I think that's the play, yeah. Much less than 22. I don't know if my body is fully prepared to be shanged out of their Surfer deck, but... I guess there's a world where they also have Luke, but it's usually not played in this build. Looks like the Mocking Surfer deck that's been going around. Dystopian, thank you for the 18 months. Welcome back. And then we win the center, right? Because we're +8 on this Luke, or +7. Yep.
Victory.
So it was Surfer Patriot. Now, the opponent's deck was likely not Surfer Patriot. The Mocking Surfer deck's one that's been going around for a little while. I'll have at least one more gold ticket with this before we move on to the next. This deck's been really fun. It's not that bad with Max for US Agent. Yeah, I agree. Max is a fine slot in for US Agent. That last deck, the Brute Auto build, I have no idea, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. It's a very reasonable deck. Only 12 infinite tickets? Yeah, I know. Apologize, everybody. I'm disappointed. Part of me wants to stop playing cards out, but they've cabled me, so I think we wait and see if we get an expansion diff here or not. I think second dinner will release any Series 4 cards anymore. I have no idea. Not quite the diff we were hoping for. The Valentina card costs 2, by the way. Something to be conscious of. I could be an infant on here, yeah. Forest Walker, thanks for the prime with the pass for sure.
Hello, so happy.
Oh, they cabled our Infinite, is what happened here. This is 13, 18, only -4. Yeah, leave here.
Escaped.
One of my favorite variants are like the 1602 Beast is one of my favorites. It's the exact wrong order for this card. My Sif. Snap the draw here. I might have found the only playable Sera deck. There are actually 2 Sera decks in my best decks roundup this week, and there's a few Sera decks that have serviceable stats on Untapped, FYI. She's definitely come back around after the latest changes. So this is a really little thing, but against Loki and other things in general, there's a lot of incentive for you to Typhoid Berry the same path as your Luke Cage, because a lot of these decks are rogue decks That being said, we just spiked the lady sip, so that's gonna happen now. This works the way I want it to, but I don't want to Sentinel the discard when I Ghost Rider, so no. Yes, they could also be on Red Guardian to poke this. Dr. Page, thank you for the 14 months. Welcome back. They can Shadow King the Blade. I mean, they have to get rid of my Luke, too. In order for that to be a thing they can do. Still a two-step process for them. Look at us not playing tech cards that are good against us. Yeah, to a degree, for sure. They also have our Luke then here, I assume. The top deck Quinjet, gross. I don't know if my buddy's ready to get top deck shagged here. Definitely staying, but combinations and stuff that savage us for sure.
Victory.
Shag plus Cage from Coulson. They located their Coulson cards. Oh, snap Black Knight, Lady Sif here. That's good enough to press the button. Well, that gives us another chance to peel Infinite for this. I did see the sweats blinking into Loki. Which really just hammers home it feels like they're playing a different game than me, because Loki just really doesn't feel like the big payoff in that deck whenever I play it. Ready yesterday felt Superman, yeah. focus. I mean, that's our best possible, yeah? If they Shang here, they'd be at 11. I'd also be at 11. I'd rather just spread left and right. Gives me 5, 11, 13, and 13. Bird is so good. And again, just as always continues to be the case, like it's so weird to me how hyper-focused on the actual card Loki folks tend to be that play this deck, because it's really just never the card that actually wins the game in my experience. It's just the card that annoys people. When they played the Shag, I got a little excited there, because I was like, oh, they're not going to have enough stats to win the left. Now they had Mockingbird. I think my biggest takeaway from the discourse of top decks the last 2 months is that just because the top players are playing it doesn't make it a deck. Yeah. And you see a lot of that in the community. You're like, oh, so-and-so played this deck at rank 1. Just like, well, that's great for them. I'm gonna play Shadow King to do my best to have priority so I can blade before I get Red Guardians next turn. We might lose it anyways. I have a coin flip here at least. Yes, that is 110% the case. The biggest advantage to playing Loki is that he lets you play all of the tech cards, and then he gives you a mulligan essentially for when you're in matchups where those tech cards aren't actually good. That is exactly correct. Blade first, and then Val. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Maybe I should just take the guaranteed Typhoid Berry? I don't know. There's a chance I hit some. Maybe it's greedy. There's a chance I hit something better, yeah? Drax, thank you for the gift and sub. Appreciate it. All right, we need to dodge them getting our Luke Cage. Surely I draw Luke Cage every time here, yes? We need Luke Cage or Ghost Rider. Oh, I should play Mary left on turn 5? That's interesting. See, chat, just draw your good card. I think I can put Luke here to hedge this a little bit, because that'll give us 2, 6, 8, and just keep him honest here. And then we can play this over here. The question is, do I think I can win the center through a Shag? So this over here gives us 7, 8... only 11, and then they could have their own Luke over here as well. I guess they only had one top deck towards Shang, right? So we're probably good, says Local Man about to be Shang-Chi'd. Okay, I'm winning mid. I'm winning mid and left, yes. Count. Stop the count! I'm winning mid!
Victory.
Hey, look, chat. My opponent played Loki instead of powerful tech cards, so they died. Funny how that works. Weird. Freezing Flame, thank you for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm gonna do this just so I can try and snake priority. Makes it better if we draw Lady Sif this turn. Oh, it's so terrible. It also means if they want a Red Guardian, the Black Knight, they have to flip a coin. Oh gosh, the Mobius deck. Well, shit. Probably torched. Probably torched. Oh, I missed that they were actually playing Circe in their deck. That's interesting. I guess it's good with Coulson and Red Guardian. It enables Mockingbird. Probably not bad with Shang either. What are the odds Typhoid Mary holds on the right? Low? I think that's our play to win line, is hope Typhoid holds and then Infinite wins somewhere else. Yes, I would assume Circe is in their deck for weekend missions as well. Putting the new card into Loki so you can Loki it away is pretty peak. Oh my god, they did nothing, chat. Are we gonna do it? I think we did it, gamers. Did we beat Mr. Mobius? Hello, hello. Yeah, a place called Vertigo. Do 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 do. Fredwick, thank you for the 79-month resubscription. One of Hogalandia's OGs. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thirsty Pretz, thank you for the 16 months. Good morning. They did unhide the Prime a little bit. Freezing Flame, thank you for the half a year. Darth Reek, thank you for the 12 months. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Here's to many more years indeed. By the way, to all the regulars, appreciate the resubs after the weekend off. As an FYI, this is going to be an exceptionally short week for me. We're going to have a nice long stream today and tomorrow, but then I'm going to be off Wednesday through next week. So we'll play with the new card. I'll hack out my early new card review. Tomorrow is going to be my last day live this week. Did you water your driveway today? Only had to do that for the first 3 days. Spending time with your family, but Reddit told me all you care about is money. It always makes me chuckle / roll my eyes beyond belief when people say that like it's some kind of criticism and they think they're not being ironic. $1.5 weeks off. No, I can't quite afford. Speaking of money, I can't quite afford to take that long off. I'll be off from what's it called? I'll be off from Wednesday until the following Monday, so 5 days. The just me is Professor X missing, and today the games are fun. No, that's an accurate description. Play the rock in case you get Ghost Rider. I'm more likely to draw a brick than a Ghost Rider, so when I draw a brick here, I want to be able to play Scar out. Carnage! Beast! Carnage! Oh god, we lose to Carnage now. Non-Loki. My CRC makes Falcon there every time. I really wish my opponent would play Loki more, so I'd be more likely to win the game. They keep playing games where we keep having games where they play Mockingbird and tech cards, and then they beat me. I much prefer when they play the bad card. It's Sal. Thank you for the 1.5 years. Welcome back. Jeff, I tried playing the evil clutter deck you posted and immediately queued into a rematch. So I used that deck to do all my weekend missions with this weekend, and I ended up plus 100 stat points almost, just like randomly pushing buttons, clearing missions. It was really freaking good for me. I'm doing this, so then we'll Ghost Rider next turn. I built that deck and I lost way more than I won. I'm gonna very politely suggest skill diff and then tell you that the deck has very bad stats on Untapped. But don't worry, the deck's not bad, it's just hard to play. Kappa emoji here. It's a real shame I didn't draw Sera, because if I drew Sera, I would totally just slam Onslaught and go nuts. But I think without Sera in hand, I can't do that speculatively. I think I'm gonna put Ebony Blade here to try and duck priority going into the last turn since Asgard is off. I have to lock myself center if I want to avoid having priority, but I think I need to do that. If they Mockingbird here, they go to 17, so Ghost Rider's beating that. Yeah, it's probably this. No, I don't think I need the US agent right because I have Mockingbird covered on the right either way. So I think I want a US agent middle to put more points there effectively. They can't Shang me here. Well, they can, but they won't be happy with the result. Cersei could get us middle. Yeah, I think because of Cersei, I actually do this. Play for a tie plus a... Oh! Actually, if they Cersei middle, US agent is minus 12, yeah? I was gonna do this. They could Cersei right. I'm adding 14 here up to 20. Honestly, Cersei right's I think we're a lock in the middle, and I'm just gonna play for the left. Keep him honest here and play for the left. Final answer. I really wanted to play Spectrum ongoing, but I couldn't because I didn't own Jean Grey and US Agent, and the Spectrum list of your best decks video, not including either of those, made me a happy snapper. Plus, Man Thing is one of my favorites. Well, winning that coin flip's insane. Win the game. We were good. We were good either way, right? If they won this coin flip, we were -4 here, so we were still winning. I want to call out this comment because I think it's a type of comment that you see a lot, and the particular like small shift / incidental deck being on top for a particular build really highlights it. You could always play the Spectrum deck without Jean Grey and US Agent, and you could always have okay, reasonable stats and solid games with it. People put way too much emphasis on I don't have the exact 12 cards that content creator featured, so I can't play the deck. And I've tried to head that off at the pass a little bit more and like help teach people to fish as I like call out what roles higher tier cards have in my best decks roundups and like offer some suggestions. But that you hear that kind of mindset a lot with a lot of different decks. A lot of going, I can't keep up because I don't have every new card. I can't play any of these decks because I don't have the exact cards in them. And a lot of the times, the suggestions that you make aren't even strictly worse, they're just different. It's like, well, you make this substitution and you're worse in some of these spots, but you're better in these other spots, and you're gonna hit such a wide range of matchups that you're gonna be able to play that deck and find success in good games with it, even if you don't have the exact 12 that I posted or that another content creator posted. Speaking of, this deck was kind of gas. I liked what this deck was doing a lot. And speaking of US Agent, he's very replaceable in this deck. He's definitely the most replaceable card here. You can sub him out for a Maximus very cleanly as a card, because basically you want US Agent to be a card you can play on the last turn of the game for cheap energy for stats. And Maximus will be better against decks that are smaller and worse against decks that are bigger. Talking about that side grade, better in some spots, worse in others. Other cards that are not replaceable in this deck, I do think Black Knight and Valentina are not really particularly replaceable in this core. Valentina, especially with Luke Cage, is adding a lot of power and consistency, and she gives you the kind of goal of this deck, the way it's set up, is you're looking to play two big things on the last turn of the game with some consistency on the back of Sera. And your mixture of things that are big are the Ebony Blade from Black Knight, the card generated from Valentina, Ghost Rider bringing back a big thing, and then than Typhoid berries. So, and in theory, you could maybe get away with replacing this one with like maybe another high power 4 drop, but Colon Scar or Crossbones and Column City are probably the closest you could get. And those at least enable Scars, so